Hey guys, my name is Ethan, this is Cara, and welcome to the series where I teach you how to build a Discord.py bot for your server. This is the prerequisites video, so this is basically going to be me telling you what you need to install, what you need to do, and what you need to know. And what the scope of this tutorial is going to be. Essentially this tutorial is going to be one where I teach you how to build a Discord server in Discord.py for one single server, and it will be kind of a moderation bot with the potential to add some fun stuff in as well. It will have leveling, it will have auto moderation, it will have commands, and it will just have the nice little simple things. It will have the welcome and goodbye stuff to do, so you can welcome new members into your server, and it will deal with many different aspects of the API, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a fairly simple coded thing. It's going to be a single file, and the code is going to be fairly simple. I'm not going to do anything too amazingly complicated in terms of the Python language, because this is basically designed for people who know Python, who aren't brand new to Python, but aren't fluent in it either. So there are a few kind of complicated tricks in there, because I have recorded a few episodes that you kind of need to do. So there'll be a bit of teaching on that as well. But for the most part, it's just going to be simple single file stuff. If you do know what you're doing with Python, you can kind of take what you learn from these and build your own stuff. That's kind of how this works. So you can build it all in modules and import stuff in from different things and whatnot, if you know what you're doing. So there are a few programs that you're going to need, first of which is obviously Python. You are going to need Python. You are going to need Python 3.7 or above. So if you switch to the desktop, I can't click, I don't know why I'm trying. That was smooth. Just launch Firefox real quick, and then head over to Python. Oh my god, I've been typing as well as I've been doing all day. I've been recording this for about 2 hours now, and I'm going back and doing this again. So you can go to downloads. Download the latest version, Python 3.7.4. That'll, on Windows, that'll import, that will install, sorry, your the language, and it will install the idle, which is the IDE that you can use if you so wish. You can download stuff for Linux straight up. If you're on Linux, you can do stuff in the terminal stuff. Wait for it to come back. There we go. Sudo apt-get install Python 3.7 will serve you every need. By the time you're watching this, Python 3.8 will probably be out. I would recommend installing Python 3.8. If there's anything specifically that we'll need to do with Python 3.8, because they do have the new walrus operator, I'll show that off, even though I'm coding in Python 3.7. Haven't need to do any of that just yet. So that's fun. After that, well, if you're installing on Linux, it doesn't. I'm not sure what happens if you do here, but if you're installing on Linux, it doesn't come with the IDE by default. So I think you can do sudo apt-get install idle. I think it's idle Python 3.7 or 8, depending on your version. That might be slightly wrong, but it's along those lines. So once you've done Python, you can also use a different idle IDE if you want. I don't really mind. If you're using one that's not idle, I'd recommend Sublime. If for whatever reason you don't want to use idle, I'd recommend Sublime. Although you can use one of your choice. You also need a database management program. So we'll come here and we'll search DB browser for SQLite, because we are going to be doing SQLite database stuff when it comes to like leveling and stuff. So you can download it from here. And then I'd recommend just getting the install or the zip if you're better with that. 64-bit installer, that'll download the latest version. Or if you want it on your memory stick, you have the portable one too. Again, you can use R. I just read R here and got confused there. You can use any database management system you like, so long as it supports SQLite 3 databases. Or you can do the database stuff in a different database module. I'm just going to be using SQLite 3 because it's inbuilt with Python and it's just easier. It's the one I know, and for something of this scope, it's going to be fine. But yeah, if you want to use something like PostgreSQL, then go for it. So the next thing you're going to need is to install pip. Well, you're going to need to do stuff with pip. I cannot remember for the life of me if pip is pre-installed on Linux. I really don't know. If not, I guess sudo apt get install, I guess Python pip might work. You might need to look it up. I know it's possible because I've done it on my other computer. I just don't remember. Yeah, so on Windows you can just do pip, oh my god, if I could actually type, discord.py, and then if you want voice capabilities, I believe that still works. Don't quote me on that. And also don't just pip install Discord because it will install the wrong version. So pip install discord.py and then ap scheduler 2 for something that we're going to be doing later in the tutorial, like way later in the tutorial. For those of you wondering why you can't just use schedule, it's because, to my knowledge, and this is to my knowledge, if I'm wrong about this, let me know. It'll probably be too late to be in the actual video itself, but yeah, I'll definitely make I'll make a hassle of it in the comments or something. Schedule can't do asynchronous stuff, and we need to do asynchronous stuff with this. It kind of depends what you want. If you're just doing, because I'm just going to be committing stuff to a database, really. Actually, no, I'll do a message sending thing as well, so I'll need this one. But if you know how to do things on schedule, if you're just doing stuff that doesn't need to be asynchronous, you can use schedule. I'm just going to use AP scheduler. Oh god, there you go. It'll say I've satisfied all requirements, but it'll be fine. I don't think there's anything else. Everything else is pretty much built into Python, to be completely honest. Oh, is traceback? Because we are going to need is traceback a default one? Yeah, it's a default one. That's fine. I just freaked out for a second there. But yeah, that's basically all the installations we're going to need to do. If you're on a Linux, by the way. That'll work out for you. You'll need to do that if you have multiple versions of Python, which if you're running Linux, you probably will, because you're probably running Ubuntu 18, and it comes pre-built with Python 3.6, which, word of warning, for the love of God, do not uninstall Python 3.6. I did that once. Brand new OS install, but it completely breaks the entire operating system. So that went really well. So that does it for the requirements and installations and stuff. But I just want to talk about a few of the concepts that we're going to be using for this. So again, really quickly, with the database stuff, we're going to be using SQLite 3. You don't have to use SQLite 3. As I said, you can use anything else. SQLite 3 is just inbuilt, and it's just the thing we're going to be using. And we are going to be doing stuff with the database. So if you're comfortable with databases, you could probably skip those. Maybe besides kind of working out how they integrate into everything. But another thing we need to really look at is Asyncio. Now, Asyncio is our asynchronous processing library. We won't need to import Asyncio in. It's just if you did need to import it in, that's how you do. What we probably need would just do Asyncio import sleep, and that'll work fine. But essentially, if I just quickly swap this to a Python file from plain text, if you had a function like this, there we go, it's giving me the colors now. Function, and then return, and then print hi, and then wait function, there we go. Oh, we don't need to save that. So essentially this is how asynchronous functions work. So they have this little async keyword, I think it's called, at the front, basically telling Python that it is an asynchronous function. It also has this await keyword, which is how you call asynchronous functions. If you don't call it with await, it either just won't run at all, or it will break. One of the two things will happen. Sometimes you can get away with it. But yeah, essentially this stops things from becoming blocking. So these functions are now no longer blocking. Well, I say these functions are no longer blocking. We need to create an event loop before that, but the discord.py API thankfully creates one for us, so we don't actually need to worry about that. We just need to, you just need to use the syntax, it'll be okay. And these are, yeah, essentially they are now non-blocking functions, and they can be run and multiple can be run at the same time. Now it's not the same as parallelization, where it does multiple things at once, because I would need to do this. We haven't actually imported this in QM, but we'll leave it. Stop trying to save it. So if we call this function now, it will then print hi, and then it would sleep for a second. But because there is an await call here, the event loop would then look for something else to do. After a second, it will come back and it will finish this off. So basically, it allows the bot to handle multiple requests at the same time, without using too much of the CPU, and without without blocking anything. Because if you had like this huge function that did a crap ton of stuff, so you were just like waiting around for like well, actually my friend's bot as a fidget spinner command, and it actually waits the amount of time before outputting the message. So say if you got one for 31 seconds, you wouldn't want the bot to be blocked for 31 seconds. You want to be able to use other functions, and having all this asynchronous stuff works. Plus, if you don't do it, the API just won't work at all, because of the way it does events. Another thing that's useful to know for commands and stuff is annotations. Now, on their own, annotations do nothing. This is a perfectly fine syntax, but Python literally does not care, and will not convert number to int if you pass a string to the function. What this basically means is third-party libraries can access this. So Discord is one of them, and it can say, oh, this number is designed to be an int. I must convert it to an int, because of course with commands it takes strings. They're all passed as strings, so it does need to be able to convert everything back out again. So the command interpreter does have a conversion algorithm that converts everything. And then you can also do like stuff with discord.member. Stop trying to save me. And then it will convert the number. Obviously you wouldn't want it to be a number, but it will convert whatever's passed into a Discord member object. So that's actually really nice. So that's basically it for the prerequisites. That's all you're really going to need, and all we need to install, and all the basic concepts you need to know. Everything else is basically just pure Python, and I'll get into the API in the next episode. Next time we'll be actually creating the bot in the Discord developer portal, and we'll be getting the bot to run and respond to a few different things. So there's quite a lot happening in the next video. But we'll basically just be creating the bot and getting it to work. Yeah, a few things I do want to say before we actually get into that. This is my first tutorial series on this channel. This is a brand new channel. I have been on YouTube for quite some time, so I'm used to that, but it was a very different environment. That was a gaming channel. This is a tutorial channel. Essentially my hobbies have switched. My main hobby has been programming for a number of years now, and I've been wanting to do programming tutorials for a while. I thought, screw it, I'll just create another channel, like, and see where it goes. So I do want to be good at this, and I do want it to be helpful. So I'd really appreciate any feedback you have, any positive or negative feedback. Just if it's negative, please make it constructive. Otherwise, it's just useless. If it's like you suck, it's like, well, that's useless, isn't it? Yeah, just be like, oh, you need to do this better, or it was really good, or just leave your honest feedback, because I need to know what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong, so I can be better for future tutorials. You can also leave any questions or concerns you have in the comment section below, including anything you don't understand. If you don't quite understand the whole asynchronous thing, then either I or someone else who happens to be in the comments at the time can help you out. And yeah, it's all just one big happy family. Yeah, please keep it nice if you're doing the criticism thing. But yeah, that'll do it for this. As I've already said what we'll do next time. So I guess I will see you then. Bye.